Hi Gunnar, everybody. It's really a privilege to share the beauty of Namaqualand with all of you. Okay, Namaqualand, it's such a unique area. Namaqualand means the land of the Nama people. Namaqualand, we've got about 70,000 people, and the area is about 55,000 square kilometers big. It's, as you all know, the richest botanical treasures in the world you get in Namaqualand. It's also semi-desert and part of the succulent Karoo area. And in this specific area of the Namaqualand, we've got about 40,000 plants, which more or less like 40% of them endemic to the Namaqualand area. We've got 4 protected areas in Namaqualand, like the Richterveld National Park is one of the protected areas, and the other one is the Namaqualand National Park, who is the other one, and Guga Nature Reserve, as well as the Babbitt Nature Reserve. That is the 4 protected areas in the Namaqualand area. And many people say, where does the boundaries of Namaqualand start? So Namaqualand, regarding me and many other also, we've got 4 regions. Like the one is the coastal zone area, which is also called the Sunveld, which is 30 kilometer inland. The other one is the Richterveld. We've got the Bushmaland, and we've got the Namaqualand Klipkoppies. Many people also argue that the Kneervlakte is part of Namaqualand. Yes, in a way, but regarding the old cards, the old maps and things, the Kneervlakte is just outside the Namaqualand region. But that seems, if you want to be in Namaqualand, you want to include the Kneervlakte area. Here you can see the boundaries of the Namaqualand. It starts with Alexander Bay. Here's the Orange River, all alongside the Orange River. This is the most northern part of the boundaries of the Namaqualand. You can see, and then you come all the way down Pella, Pofadder. Here's the boundary coming through just before the Klipland area and just between Garries and Bitterfontein. So this total area forms parts of the Namaqualand, which is more or less 55,000 square kilometer. Just in consideration, the Namaqualand's size, it's like 1/3 of England, and if you compare it with Netherlands, it's the half of Netherlands. So now you more or less a comparison with the size of the Namaqualand. Okay, first of all, I share you a video clip of the aloes. This is the quiver tree forest outside Klein Pella. It's just a video clip of one of the beauties. We've got like 2 or 3 forests of aloe dichotomous in the Namaqualand, and one is Klein Pella is one of them. This picture of the aloe pearsoni, you will never see this again, because this totally errantly is currently big, huge droughts area. The aloe capensis, you can see the amazing background. It's also growing alongside the Orange River, previously the Garib River. It's sometimes red, yellow color, and sometimes it's just green, yellow, the aloe capensis. And we've got more or less like in the Namaqualand area, we've got more or less 24 aloes. So they are one of them. Then is this one of this most beautiful aloe, Karasbergensis. You can see the Bioto. It's also in the Richterveld National Park, and only the one place they grow there, not far from the road. So there's the aloe Karasbergensis. Here you can see the aloe Camisensis. It's growing in the Namaqualand Klipkoppies area, all the way to the southern part of Namaqualand. On the boundaries there is quite widespread, but not at all in a Richterveld. This is the aloe Camisensis. You can see it's very, very tall, and some of them grows up to 3.5 meters. So it's a very amazing plant when it flowers. Here is one of the most beautiful ones for me, striata kind of aloe, the aloe Comagacensis. Not everybody see him in nature. There's only one colony in Namaqualand. And if something happened to that colony, there will be nothing left at all. So, and it's not a huge colony. They are really restricted to a small area in the Klipkoppies, the aloe Comagacensis, named after a town, Comagas, who is not far away from there. Aloe Krappeliana, he's a favorite. It's all over. the Crapuliana and the Crapuliana dumoulini, which mostly more alongside the Orange River. So it's the Yellow Crapuliana. Here you see the Yellow Varicata. He's also widespread in the Namaqualand. You also get him in the Karoo as well. And also a very amazing one, the Yellow Melancantha. You can see it looks very, very much like Aranacea and the others. There's a variety of them close to the Orange River, the Yellow Melancantha variety Aranacea, also beauty, and is also widespread in the Namaqualand and grows the whole area in the Namaqualand. Here you can see when it's much more rain, the body is much more greener also. So it's quite a beauty when it flowers. Here is one of my favorites, the Elopilansi. You can see the Elopilansi's flowers is underneath the leaves. That's how you easily recognize them from Elodicotoma, which the flower carries on top of the leaves. That is one is in Cornell's Cop. You can see there's the old man taking a picture of the Elopilansi, also a favorite to take pictures of. This is the Eloramosissima. Eloramosissima, you get it more or less in the Steinkopf, from Steinkopf north of into Richterville National Park. You can see the background. There's the Elopearsonized, the red patterns, that's Elopearsonized. But the Eloramosissima, most of them say there's not really a difference between the Eloramosissima and the Elodicotoma. So many will agree. Otherwise, even the Elo people, they've got disagrees and agrees underneath them, but they are a beauty one as well. You can see here is Eloramosissima, also in the Richterveld National Park. Here's the coastal zone areas, Elo, the Elo ernicola, the Bond Elo. They also say the Bond means the dots on the Elo, quite close to the ocean. And it's also, you can see the flower stuck. It's a pretty face to see when you flower. The drought is do a little bit damage to them as well. Elo claviflora, you get them alongside the eastern boundaries of the Namaqualand area, around Pofadder, Pella, Onshepkans area. And here's the Elodicotoma, growing also widespread in the whole Namaqualand, the Northern Cape area, Western Cape area. So he is quite widespread, and as you can see, also look quite closely, flower at the same time also as the Ramossissimas. Elofalcata is also widespread in the Namaqualand, so it's relatively widespread. Framesii, you get him from the coastal zone area, Alexander Bay, Port Nolloth, up till Elands Bay, Lammers Bay, all alongside the coast. Elo Framesii. Here's the Elo glauca variety spinosa, the Namaqualand blue elo. You can see the color on it and the spines underneath it. That is close to, not far away from the coast, but the baboons do a lot of damage and donkeys to the flower stalks when they get them, as is all the other elos. They break it off and prevent them to form new elos as well. You can see a little bit more need water a little bit, so then change a little bit color.
Okay, well, we are right at the ocean looking at a fabulous field of flowers, and they are just opening up, which is very exciting. As we walk, we can see them getting more and more open. We also have a number of white daisies, and we're looking for some euphorbias and also for aloe arenicola.
As I mentioned, the coastal zone area is also called the Sandveld. It's like 30 kilometers inland a little bit. So the plants and things is quite reliable on fog and dew. So this is the plants more or less you get in a coastal zone area. This is the Boaphony Hemathoides. This photo was taken this year. Amazing flower display at the back. Here's the flowers of the Boaphony, and it flowers more or less November, December, when it's very, very hot in the areas. That's a flower time of Bohafani. You not see this often a flower stalk with the leaves. So when it's in flower, they haven't got any leaves. But this here's the flower stalk starting with the leaves still on. Here's one of my favorites, the Gracilla tomatosa. They call also the woody Gracilla. You can see a lot of the hairs of wool alongside the coast. It's totally different from the one inland. So quite covered with wools or hair, whatever you will call it. Here's the Amentis coccineus, right at the coastline, like 100 or 50 meters from the coast. They grow, and it's also widespread in Namaqualand, the Amentis coccineus. You can see the leaf of the Amentis coccineus as well. Here's a beautiful flower display with Lamprentis, Ditelta, and all other flowers at the coast. When it's flower time, around about August, it's such a good sight to see. And also Monolaria molliformis, also alongside the coast. Pelagorium fulgidum is all over alongside the coast, upwards still Western Cape as well. And alongside the coast in Namaqualand, you can also get the Cape fur seals. We've got like 2 or 3 colonies of the Cape fur seal alongside our west coast of Namaqualand. This one is not easy to see. It's a parasite, Avia squamosa. It's also a good sight to see if you see him. I see him like in my entire life, like 4 or 5 times. It's not easy to see them in flower. You're lucky to see them. At the right time, you will see him. This one is not well known to everybody. Cyanurhiza typica, you call it wild or beer carrot. They use the roots to make some homemade beer. I never tasted, so maybe I must give it a go. One of the favorites, Chonanelia spongiosa. It's a volstruisvytjie called in Afrikaans. At the back, you can see the Ditelta carnosa. See the pretty flower. Chonanelia spongiosa. And Tylocodon paniculatus at the coast is a little bit more smaller and more dense red color as inland. You can see the flower, amazing, of the Tylocodon paniculatus at the coast, our west coast. Yeah, and then here's the Monsonia petersoni. My son sitting with them in a lichen fields close to Alexander Bay. Yeah, it's part of the Richterveld end of the coastal zone area as well. There's the petersoni. Here's also one who is Wulia farinosa, who's endemic to the coast area just from Cleansea upwards to Untitled Bay. The 2 colors, light pink and the white colors, Wulia farinosa. Here is the Fenestraria rafophylla, the baby toes, or however you want to call it. They are totally covered with the sand. If not in flower, you can step on them and you won't see them at all. Some other beauties alongside the coast, there's the shipwrecks to see, so it's not about flowers. At the coast, our sunsets is amazing. You can see there, that picture was taken Portnolo, so for photographs, it's just the crowd pleaser. There's another sunset picture, another shipwreck at a steer near Untitled Bay. And there's the tours. There's roads all alongside our west coast, so you can drive mostly 40% of the area alongside our west coast. Unfortunately, a part of its mining area, and you're not allowed to drive there at all. Yeah, here is the things, the Bitis, the horned adder. So when you hike in nature, I always say you first watch and then step. So if you step on this guy, and then you can get trouble. So that's why Namaqualand nature is so unique with all the insect, the reptiles. So really be careful when you see these guys. See who's watching you between the rocks. So you know about you, that I can tell you. This picture was taken near Alexander Bay, and if I must judge me, I think Stephen Breck was part of them. We see that close to the Orange River, this one. This one is laying, waiting for the sun Don't want other just on top of the rock. Yeah, here's the chameleon namaquensis. Not easily to see him. They are starting to die out because they are caught by the falcons or the bigger birds. And also people collected them, the sad part of it. But if you're lucky, you will see them alongside the Orange River, the Richterveld area, and then also alongside the coast. You will see them sometimes in the bushes. What a beauty. Okay, here's our Cassina ungulata. He's the most widespread one in Namaqualand, all alongside the coast. Inland, you get him as well. And also the tent tortoise is not easy to find. You get him more or less like in the Richterveld area or in the Klipkoppies area. And the enemies is mostly the birds. You get a lot of crows, pied crows, cape crows, pick the small ones up, drop them, break their shells and eat them. But interesting about the tortoise is they've got all 13 shells on their body. Here's our national bird, the blue crane. You will see him in Namaqualand, the springbok, and also a favorite to many people is the suricata, the meerkats. They are amazing, and if you can spend time with them where they go into the hills, it'll give you amazing photos. Here's our Toctoclis, the darkling beetle chewing on a Conophytum bilobum. It's also widespread in Namaqualand. The velvet spiler is very, very small. It's like doesn't look like so much. It's more or less like 3 millimeters big, and you get him inside the leaves of some flowers, a velvet spider, but they are around there. Then you've got the red-banded blister beetle. He's all over. You'll see them in August when it's flowering season. They are all over. Then this bagworm, you have to look quite good to see him. He's all over the plants and on the rocks. Here you can see them, how he's camouflaged. Grasshoppers, we see them many. The grasshopper sitting on a flower here. If you're walking carefully into the quartz pebbles, you see them. They are there. And other insects as well. You can see here's a Wolfia flower chewed on. Here's a Trachyandra falcata flower chewing on. There's another beetle on a Elodicotoma. So it's not about plants. There's insects, there's centipedes. You can see this one if gets grasshopper. And so it's not about plants. It's about insects, reptiles, animals, whatever. This one, the scorpion, he's walking during the day. You see him on mostly every trip during the day. You will see him. He's a day hunter. The Parabutus vilosus in the Richterveld area, quite poison. The poisonous one have got the small snipers and the bigger tail where the poison are. He's a Cape Flat lizard, also in the Richterveld area. You will see him Acadispas area. That's where the road is getting its name from, Acadispas, regarding this lizard. Yeah, here is one of euphorbias, Euphorbia multiceps. This is one dying out and was very, very hard hit by poachers. So I visited them not long ago. There's hardly anything left, just a few juveniles getting up with seeds who laying dormant there. Multiceps, but you still get them in areas where you know we are. This is a beauty. Also not one easily find, Euphorbia pentops. Namaqualand Klipkoppies you will get him. Also, you can see the reddish kind of color of flowers. I only know 2 localities of this one, Euphorbia pentops. This one, the Euphorbia quadrata in the Richterveld area. You see the color on this one. One of my favorites, Euphorbia remiglans alongside the coast. What a beauty display, codex. You can see this little one look more or less like a Capensis type of thing, but it's still remiglans, different forms, depends on the area and the drought. Yeah, we figured this one many times out. The Euphorbia namaquensis and the Euphorbia multiramosa. The namaquensis you get in the Bushmanland area, the flower on the left, and the multiramosa area you get more close to the Orange River, Fjordstrif area you get in the multiramosa, and then you get the Frederiki, who is in Namibia side, not in South Africa. So that's just the three Codex Euphorbians in this one, the Namaquensis, multiramosa, the 2 inches in Namaqualand, the Frederiki is in Namibia. They look more or less like the same, but here's a spine extra, the flowers a little bit different. How do you recognize this? That's one not long ago described by Graham Williamson, Euphorbia confluens, and drought do a lot of damage to him as well. Euphorbia confluens, quite not far away from the coast, and also in the Richterveld area, just at the most southern boundaries. This one, Euphorbia salata, I visited this one like for 15 years, and I didn't think he grew a centimeter or 3 millimeters. I've got pictures from the first time. Euphorbia salata, this is a specific area. I visit every time the specific colony. I can show you all the pictures. I can't see if he's growing at all, but amazing sight to see him. Every time to see him, it's just a privilege. More or less, it looks like in other area, salata. Here's one of the ennials, Euphorbia paleoclate. Here's the ennial. He's just getting up, and after a long heat period, he's getting away. Euphorbia paleoclate. Also Euphorbia crispa, also very big codex and quite close to the ground, Euphorbia crispa. Here's the sticky euphorbias, Euphorbia guernseyana. You get them quite close to the orange ribbon area, also where the commiferas and it's growing, and where the Pachypodiums are growing. This is the Euphorbia guernseyana. You can see them; they're growing with the Pachypodiums. There's the stemipes, a mating bush type of Euphorbia. Euphorbia filiflora, the Namaqualand clipcoppice area. Everybody knows him as well, the Euphorbia virosa, widespread in the, the Richterveld and Namaqualand, close to the Orange River area. There's rudis. This is one of the biggest rudis plants I ever see. I not even trying to count these plants. I think there's far over 100 heads on this Euphorbia rudis. Okay, this is the Namaqualand clipcoppice area. There's many hikes take place in this area, as you can see here. If you want to look at succulents, unique plants, you sleep in the riverbeds, and this is the coppice you climb. That is a Namaqualand clipcoppice. Yeah, this is a beauty. Edromiscus herrei. I know only one locality of them, and you can see why they're such a beauty. Edromiscus herrei. Okay, and a Campstrus alsternai. It was previously Avonia alsternai. This specific plant is far older than 100 years. I think more or less like 100, 150 years old. Look at the beautiful flowers, pink and white. And a Campstrus alsternai. Yeah, here's my daughter. She's also luckily love nature. Smelling a Brunswickia namaquanum. And I learned her to smell every kind of flower. You see, and there's the leaves growing together with Conophytum pellucidum at the Coburg area. And there's the flower of the Brunswickia namaquanum. This is also the Brunswickia pulchra, growing also in the clipcoppice area. Okay, here is the Caryopsis delphinioides. We struggle a lot to identify this one, but thankful to Mr. Breck and Stephen Hammer. And we get close to this area, not a huge colony and not widespread, Caryopsis delphinioides. I think many people are known to this one. But as Stephen Breck often says, Caries and Argies and Cephalophyllum, there is still a mystery. This is delphinioides. And then this one, Colpia mollis. I don't know why, because I love them. He's hanging on the cliffs. He's in the Namaqualand area, relatively widespread and really unique species for me, Colpia mollis. This Conicosia, you can see Conicosia elongata. And it got such a big root system. Look at this one. The water drew a wash away, and you can see how big is this roots. It's I was a shock for me to see how big it is, this one. So you can see it's well stabilized in the ground. Here's the smaller things, the Gracila mesemanthoides in the bushland area. You can see the flowers, very, very tiny, hard to find. Okay, here's the Getalis grandifolia, also Cucumacranca. When not in flower, amazing leaf display. You can see how big is this one. It's easily like 60 centimeters. Some of them get up to 72 meters, sometimes colonies. Really a nice display. But flowers, only you see only the flower. So when in flower, no leaf at all. Getalis grandiflora. Also a unique one in the Namaqualand clip copies area, Getalis setosa. You can see there's the flower of the Getalis setosa. Amentis namaquensis, not widespread. You get them also in the clip copy areas, also in the Richterveld. Here is Amentis namaquensis growing in the center of Allodichotoma. I visit them many times. I only find them once with a flower nearly dead. So it's such a good sight to see where this pretty fellow grows. Here's our old one, Lerelichia cactiformis, relatively widespread in the Namaqualand area, where some of them get up to 30, 40 centimeters. So they are quite large. This one is also known as Mesembryanthemum hypertropicum. It's an amazing display when in flower September, October. Sometimes you get them in November still in flower. You can see the flower. This one is in the Richterveld. You see the different on the flowers. There is totally pink in the Richterveld National Park. And this one is also in a Babbitt Nature Reserve. Monsonia herrei, pretty tiny leaves, amazing plant. You can see there, Conophytum wettsteinii, they protected them. There's a juvenile. One of my favorite Gladiolus equitans, relative in the Kamiesberg area, the Namaqualand National Park area. Gladiolus equitans. There's the Lithops naurinii. There's only one colony and is endemic to a certain area in Namaqualand. Also in the Namaqualand Klipkop area, Lithops naurinii. Yellow flower. Lepidicolus or Thona, I know about two spots, one in the Namaqualand area and just one outside the Namaqualand area in the Western Cape. Thona lepidicolus. This one is Orthona red rosa, also endemic to Namaqualand. Going in Kamingsberg area, you can see how does the body looks like when dormant. See there you can see when in leaf. And there's one with the flower on. Tylecodion racemosus, widespread in the Namaqualand area. Clip copies mostly, you will get him in a copies area. Yeah, this one is the also endemic to one area. From Springbok is northwest. Epidicolus, it was described by Ernst van Jaarveld. It looked quite close related to a Tylecodion striatus, you can see, but it's not related at all, not the same at all. So this one is a little bit more to the southeast and as well as the Western Cape. Here is one, the Vaneriae primosei, bushland area in flower. I know the Vaneriae primosei, know one area where they're growing, and they're still in good shape there. You can see with not in flower, Vaneriae primosei. Trachehanda tortilis, what a beauty. Yeah, and a sunset in the bushland area. Here's the Zuzani. If they're not a flower is hard to find. I know one area in the Namaqualand area, but they're also in the Karoo as well. Dracula Zuzani. Here's the Eriosperm paradoxum. Nice color when they going dormant. Here's the Euphorbia oxystigia, which growing also in the Namaqualand Tlicopy area. Here's the Orbea namaquensis, close to the coast. Here's the Pelagonium ceridifolius, amazing flower display when in flower. The Richterveld area, if you didn't visit that area, you was not in the Richterveld. This area, not many people know where it is. It is called the roof of the Richterveld. You sleep quite on that edge. The valley down, you can't go at all there. You can see how amazing scenery you've got when you camp there. But it's worthwhile going there. And you can see the Richterveld, they've got beautiful rock formations in the Richterveld National Park. It's not about, as I say, not about flowers, reptiles, whatever. There's also beautiful rock to play. This one is called the God's Hand. You can see this grinding stones, sandstone formations, drum sticks. This one is in a Holgat area. Amazing, the rock formations, just a few of them. Here's another video of the Richterveld area. And if you want to go down to the Orange River, the road you're going is not easy. So you have to drain all in the river back, all the way down to the Orange River. But a beautiful scenery. And unfortunately, if you go down, you have to come back this road, but it's all worthwhile. This is a Astridia vaneriae, quite on the edge of the most northern part of the Richterveld. You can see there's the Orange River at the back, Astridia vaneriae. Just for interesting, the Orange River is the largest river in South Africa. It's like 2,250 kilometers long. It was previously called the Gariep. And it's coming from the Lesotho, the Drakensberg area, and it's go all the way down to the Atlantic Ocean. And it's the borderline also between Namibia and South Africa. This is the most northern part of the Namaqualand. And it flows from west to east. Astridia vaneriae. Okay, Caryopsis peculiaris. Also very unique Caryopsis. There's only one locality in Namaqualand, and so far not touched at all. You can see there when not in flower. And that is growing with Caryopsis mayeri. It's growing close together. You can see there Caryopsis mayeri and Caryopsis peculiaris. Here's the Caryopsis bilanci. It's also growing in the Richterveld area. You can see the different colors: orange, purple, and white. Caryopsis bilanci. Here's Caryopsis vericosa, also close to the ocean, on the most northern part of the Namaqualand, close to the Orange River. And they rely on a little bit of rain. In this area, it gets about 20 millimeters rain a year. Alexander Bay area where they grow, so mostly rely on fog, but can take hard winds. You have wind sandstorms up to 100 to 80 to 50 kilometers an hour easily. There's some flowers. You can see there's a Euphorbia garipina, one of my favorites, quite close to the Orange River, also named after the Orange River, which previously Garip, or Euphorbia garipina. It got a nice blue color and a beauty. See the different rocks that grow, so they can take harsh circumstances to grow. Here's the Mitophilium decitum, also close to the ocean, in the mountains in the Richterveld. Monsonia multifida. You get the one in a white flower and the one in a pink flower. Can take very hard conditions to survive. What an amazing flower. There's the white and there's the pink. Pachypodium namaquanum. He can really take hard conditions. In normal circumstances, you're growing like 4 or 5 millimeters a year. So you can just work out, they grow up to 2 meters high. How old the plant must be if it's grow like 4 or 5 millimeters a year under normal circumstances in nature. And you get only one Pachypodium in Namaqualand, that's a Pachypodium namaquanum. You get them nowhere else in the world. So endemic to this area, quite close to the Orange River and a little bit inland in Namaqualand. There's a seed pod. And there's a small one. Good to see small ones. So then you know nature is doing its job. Now this one is really the Pelargonium ciperifolium. It's growing up to Luderitz. You get them on the northern part of the Namaqualand, quite close to the Orange River. So if you find them, you're really lucky. It's one of the beautiful Pelargoniums. Look at the flower. There's also Sarcotolum petersoni. You can see the nice color. The circumstance is a wife. You can see in the front here is Samaphora modesta also. Nice, beautiful flower. This one is hard to find. Tylocodon fusilis. You can say the leaves, if you're not in flower or you see a flower stalk, it's hard to find the leaf at all. Look at the beautiful flowers. They are up to 10 centimeters high. And when they are flower, you don't see the leaf at all. Tylocodon fusilis, also in the Richterveld area. The two cotyledons you get is Cotyledon cuneata and Cotyledon orbiculata, both in the Richterveld. And the Cotyledon orbiculata is much more widespread than the Cotyledon cuneata. So this is the two cotyledons, orbiculata and cuneata. The one I've got already is orange type of flower, the orbiculata, and the cuneata more greenish yellow. This is in the Richterveld area, also quite close to the Orange River and up to Helshoogte area, Getlys namaquensis. growing mostly with the Pearsonites, where they are widespread, the yellow Pearsonites. Caudalis namaquensis. You can see at the back there, you can see the yellow Pearsonites. The two Hoodia you get in Namaqualand, there's only two. There's the Hoodia alstoni and the Hoodia gordoni. You get only two Hoodias in Namaqualand. The one is the alstoni with the yellow greenish flower, and the gordoni with the fluffy pink type of flowers. This is the Hoodias you also get in Namaqualand. Orthona psychrophylla, where I showed a picture with the roof of the Richterveld, the video clip. Not far away from there, they are growing. Amazing orthona to see in nature. Okay, this one is the Tylochorium buckalgianus. You can see how that they survive the sandstorms, how's the body polish, and there's the flower ready to produce some seeds and make some new plants. This one is hanging at the cliff, so amazing how they are growing. Then there's a lot of Stapelias or Biaceae and quaquas. This is Stapelia capensis alongside the Orange River up to the Richterveld. Stapelia similis, Trometrica paniculata. Okay, here's another video of the Richterveld. You can see why Namaqualand is a semi-desert and starting to get more into a desert. This area is the grasvlakte area, and as you can see, it's totally covered with sands. Okay, just sorry for that. I just keep the sound on because to show you, that day the wind was like 70, 80 kilometers per hour. It totally destroyed the windshield of the bakkie. I was busy with the trip there. You can't get out. Sometimes that's why you started getting a desert. You can see the area was covered. It's regarding the sandstorms. And then I don't know why, oxalis, I love them. There's so much pretty oxalis in Namaqualand. Here's just a few of them. I will share one or two beauties with you. And I think we can agree they are beauties and they are flowering throughout your year. You're lucky. If there was a dew, they will flower. Okay, then the people love to come to Namaqualand. There was Stephen Brack and his wife Linda, just going back. You can see there the old man top of the cliffs. He liked to go all the way upwards. The Triforbia dragiana at the back. You can say yes, Susan Marr, Euphorbia multiremosa. And mostly there is wind and it's hard to take pictures. You have to cover yourself quite close to the Orange River. Here's Nels Christians, Dan and his wife. And then to visit these local people, this guy sitting with the Elodichotoma house at the back, built out of an Elodichotoma. And quite cold inside, cool inside, and they use the grinding stone stills to do some flour to bake bread. Here you can see the traditional Nama people. We love to visit them and like to talk to them, and they share amazing information from the plants they're eating and everything. So they are so amazing to talk. And what is Namaqualand without Oma's roosterbrood, the homemade baked bread? And they are willing to serve you, and for one of these breads you will pay like less than $1. And in Namaqualand, I've got snow as well. The Kamiesberg area mostly every year, and around Springbok sometimes you get snow. I was lucky to take these pictures with the snow in Namaqualand. You can see there the daisies, hello, Kamiesberg census. I think nobody ever take a Kono picture in snow. I've got one or two pictures of them. Kono Paiji. It's an amazing sight. In the threats of the Namaqualand, let's talk quickly about this combination of unsustainable farming. Yeah, the local farmers, they just increase their sheep's They don't care to protect the nature. They weed everywhere. They don't get chance after rains. If the plant's getting up, they harvest them, the sheep, or eat them. Don't let them produce some seeds to make new plants. So that's a problem. And then currently our biggest problem is poaching. Currently, so far, around about 250,000 plants was already confiscated this year coming out of Namaqualand. So poaching is used a big damage, and I'm a privilege to share next year or do a lot of poaching presentations. And then climate change. It is there, but I don't think we feel it so easily because it's taking a long time to get. Droughts and sometimes flood rains in areas, you see in sandstones. But putting these threats aside, Namaqualand is still a paradise for plants, animals, insects, birds, sightseeing, and different culture people. It's still amazing to visit Namaqualand. I think it's the best place for me and for many people to come and visit, relax. No threats, no crime at all. In certain areas, you can feel free, no cell phone ring. So it's worthwhile to come and see the beauty of Namaqualand. Yeah, I ignore Africana. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you, everybody. I open up for any questions, and I hope you've got a little bit a bigger version of the beauty of Namaqualand.